So let's check out what's inside a brand new Fluval 107 canister filter. I've already opened this, so I've already broken all the tamper-proof seals. So in the box, you get all the good stuff. First thing you get is, of course, the tubing to connect to your filter and aquarium. And then you get the accessory pack, which is all the stuff you need to run it. Your valve stop, your discharge nozzle, your impeller cover, and pump head gasket, and tube guides along with the intake strainer. And then the star of the show, the canister filter itself, along with the instruction manual. So first of all, number one thing is don't pick the filter up by this primer bulb. It can't support a full filter. You'll break that little shaft. So don't pick these up by that. So here are your latches. There's one on each side. So when you unlock it, you keep pushing down and it pops it. See how the gap opens up? So when it's locked, it's flush. So when you unlock it, keep pushing down, it helps you pop it. Same thing on this side. You got the unlock, and you keep pushing down, and then you pop the lock. Then you take this is your pump head. Your impeller is in here. You can take that off and service the impeller if you need to. Every once in a while. I've never done it. You got to clean the chamber out. I've never done it on my other filters, so probably won't have to do it for this one. They run a good long time. The impeller itself is a wear item, so over time they got little plastic bushings. And over time, this impeller shaft will it'll start to wallow out a little bit, and it'll start to rattle in there. You can hear it rattle in there. That's a good indicator time for you to change it. The shaft is ceramic, so you don't want to be too rough on that and drop it, because you will break that shaft. So that just pops right in there. Make sure it's secure in there. Put the little cover back on. And that's about it for that. Now, inside the filter, you get a warning label. Tell you to make sure you rinse everything. Please remove the media from the protective bags and rinse before, yada yada yada. You know, if you're an experienced aquarist, you already know to wash everything. So you got two chambers in here. You got your pre-filter, and then you got your specialty media packs. So on this particular one, this is your pre-filter, and it can be also your biofilter if you don't get too crazy on cleaning. Usually on mine, this half is usually sacrificial. I'll power wash this under the tap water, which has chlorine in it, and yada yada yada. Once this gets established, every time you rinse it, you do lose some of your beneficial bacteria, but not enough to kill this whole thing off, so it will repopulate itself. you know, the plastic will harbor all kinds of bacteria and stuff like that. So you don't really want to, every time you service this, you don't need to scrub this thing and make it all clean and pretty like it was brand new. It's completely unnecessary. Just a quick rinse and put it back together and be done with it. Same thing with the canister housing here. This will get slimy, but that's all your beneficial bacteria in there doing their job. So, you know, you don't want to fire them and, you know, wash them down a drain. So these are your multi-cartridge chambers here. This is your top. And what's really nice of what Fluval's done over the 106 or 6 series models, these brand new 7 series, you don't even have to stick your hand in the water here anymore. You can just grab a hold of this whole thing and yank it out. So that's pretty cool. Like on my 406, when this is full of water, which you want it full of water, so when you service your media, you can use aquarium water to clean your media out. You got to stick your hand all the way down in there and get it. So having a little handle, that's pretty neat. So out of the box, the first thing you get is you get a starter set of pads and stuff like that. Usually they give you a phosphate pad. You know, if your water has a lot of problems with phosphates in it, and phosphates are bad for fish, unlike you know, the old days where you wanted phosphates in your laundry detergent so you could have clean clothes. Phosphates are not good for fish, which is one of the reasons why all these laundry detergent manufacturers took it out. So if your water has phosphates in it, this is a important step to have and to continue using it. Unfortunately, it is a nickel and dime item, so you'll have to keep purchasing this when they wear out. Next thing you get is the activated carbon pack. Now, I don't run carbon in any of my filters. It's a complete waste of time and money. Carbon does have a purpose. Basically, when you want to remove medications out of the water, or if you have odors. But if you got a good running aquarium, you should have no odors at all. So, you know, again, this is making, you know, Fluval company money. For me, like I said, I don't run carbon filters in any of my filters. I did in the past, and they've done nothing for me. You know, other than removing medications and stuff like that, just a temporary thing. So, your next chamber. This is a 2-chamber filter. Your bigger filters will have another chamber, like my 406 has 3 chambers. You get a polishing pad. This is Fluval's interpretation of a polishing pad. It's a fine pad. It's useful. It can be, you know, used to keep your good media or your optimized media running longer. So, and in the very bottom is another biopad. This is your biofoam. You're going to have all kinds of beneficial bacteria growing in this. You know, the same thing with all your plastic pieces. You're going to have bacteria growing on it and yada yada yada. So yeah. So now when you service this thing, you take it out of service, bring it over to wherever you're going to work on it, and you want to have water in here. So at first, you know, you just want to, you know, rinse these off. They'll get pretty slimy, pretty grimy, and you just take them out. Just pop them off. You can, once it's established, you can rinse it in tap water. You know, with a nice, if you got a kitchen faucet with the shower, you know, you can really power wash this good once it gets established. But for the 2 months that this thing is going to get established, you want to, you know, dip it in this aquarium water and just squeeze it and massage it. you know, and give it a good time and yada yada yada, and all that detritus and garbage and junk and goo and slime is going to be all dislodged in there. And they don't have to be perfectly clean, and you don't have to replace them like the manufacturer recommends. I mean, I think they say every couple of months, every year or so, you should change these things. I've never changed mine. The one in my 406 has been running through since 2012. You know, other than being discolored from the city water, they're pink. But yeah, they last a long time. So you don't need to keep throwing these out and buying new ones. On your bigger filters, you'll have a more sustainable biofilm. Same thing, stick it in there, wash it out, because you don't want to rinse it in tap water with chlorine, because you'll wipe out quite a bit of the population, and then you know you can run into problems, and you don't want to do that. You want to keep your fish hobby simple. So since there's a lot of capacity in this little filter, this is the smallest canister filter you can get. You can supercharge this thing. So you pretty much want to keep your pre-filter as is, because that's going to trap all the big particles and detritus and fish food and fish crap and yada 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 and stuff like that. As for your chambers, like for me, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this biofilm out, and I'm going to run a product called Matrix. I'm going to run Matrix in this bottom chamber, and this is going to have a lot more surface area for bacteria than the foam there. So the more bacteria you have, the cleaner your water, and the more fish you can have at you know any given time. You know, you can run quite a bit of fish if you got the population of bacteria to run it. So my bottom chamber will be filled with Matrix, and then this top chamber here, I'll have you know, probably I'll run this little biofoam here, this polishing pad here, and then I'll go ahead and I'll run this polishing pad, and I'll cut to fit this chamber and make a couple of them, and this will be the final filter before I run Purigen in it. So the cleaner the water that you have coming up from the top of this thing, the longer this will last. So you know, it's all a maintenance thing. So the less maintenance you got to do, the better off you are. So that'll be that for that. This will be for the 10-gallon tank. And you know, you put all this happy stuff back together. If you want to use it, you know, if you're not into you know, optimizing your filters and stuff like that, you can keep buying the store-bought stuff and just keep running it. It's a good filter. It will work. I've had running for many years. I love them. We'll probably never go back to a hang-on back filter unless I decide to run something special, which is a possibility in the future. So before I finish up this video, all the Fluvals, they give you this nozzle. It's a good nozzle. It's okay. When you install these things, you pretty much want to have this at the surface of the water, because you want to oxygenate the water. So the only way you get oxygen in the water is if you have turbulence on top of the water's surface. So having this blowing across the surface will oxygenate the water so your fish can live. You know, you can have 100 air stones running in there and your fish will still suffocate, because your oxygen exchange happens at the surface of the water. So you can have 100 air stones running and your fish will still be deprived of oxygen. So a good nozzle, but there is improvements. And another improvement I'm going to use are these optional Fluval spray bar kits. So this will distribute the water amongst a greater area. So the more surface agitation you have, the more oxygen exchange, and the happier your fish. So I got this for both the 10 gallon and the 60 gallon. And this will cut down on the current because there's a lot of output, you know, with these nozzles blowing across the top of the water. And sometimes there's certain fish that don't like a lot of current. So it's just an option, something I'll be running. So that's it for this video. We'll catch you next time, and keep your filters clean. Bye.